this year actually enter and not top 3, top 4, top 6.
Yeah.
Like, he is in every top 8. He has been playing, I think, a very unique style of Ice Climber to great success this past year.
I am excited to see what he does. That was bad.
Yeah, for no reason, you're very excited.
But on to FC, this pick makes sense. I just feel like a lot of time you'll see double Fox. And even, I mean, a lot of teams when they end up on FD just have that room to operate and kind of kill things out. Gonna be seeing a lot of shine pressure, trying to get those early kills off the edge.
Yeah, right now you got them in the pincer, though you got to be careful to get out and dodge his Falco. That's a character, if you're Foxy and Aklo, I think you want to isolate, just because even with, but you're a little bit more slow, you're a little bit more committal, and so overwhelming Falco just puts him in a really rough spot.
Yeah, and then I mean, once you get Falco into the edge guard situation, it's so much easier to work against the Fox. And, you know, you have your backups to cover the side B if he decides to do the early recovery, and then, you know, for the most part, you can usually get coverage onto the side.
Synchronized jump there to find a way out at disadvantage. Aklo and Foxy Grandpa showing you the type of synergy that truly only siblings can have as they find a way back into this one, but they have not been able to build a lead at all.
Yeah, and it's feeling like they're still feeling each other out pretty hard. You know, trying to figure out their footing and everything. I mean, like you can tell a little bit on Foxy and Aklo. You like, it's very clear to see not only the Static team, but the Brotherhood team happening, kind of see how they work together, and it's really clear, like, they know where they want to be with each other.
Yeah, there's been, I was gonna say, it's been really impressive to watch some of those synchronous movements that you see from them. Right there, you just see Foxy take that position to force his opponent to give up the position to allow Aklo to get back for free there. It's some super smart play, just positionally, even out of distance, to help your teammate out of disadvantage.
Yeah. Try and help where you can, get in there. I'm interested to see as the set progresses. You know, one of the biggest advantages of Falco in doubles is that Laser is possibly the best save tool in the game, just because you can hit anywhere. You know, you have to be able to get the laser to connect, but we'll see how deep of a save you can get out of Lewis trying to get Adwan out of some bad places. I will say, I know Falco's very difficult to play in doubles, but I think someone playing Falco well just adds so much to the doubles. Like, there's so much potential you can get. He's such a monster on setting up combos, as well as getting them. Like, you know, his smash attack is down tilt. You can do basically whatever you want, like switch up your playstyle.
Beautiful pressure there from Aklo and Foxy, although they couldn't quite find it. And now, this is where I feel like this is one of the hardest situations in Melee doubles, is when you're caught not just down multiple stocks, but you have to play out of the pincer, right, against double Fox. It's just so hard to get away from the speed and create the space, and we're seeing that right now, right? We just can't get away.
Yeah, you can't get hit once or else it's over. But I will say, Adwan was holding it down pretty well there. It felt like, the beginning of something, possibly. It feels like they're playing it incredibly safe. Not anymore. But they were playing incredibly safe, where they were giving him like a little bit of a sandwich and not both running in. And being like, we're gonna wait and see. If one of us gets an opening, that's fantastic. That's probably the game. But they weren't over pushing or anything. They know we have 4 stocks to play with. Don't rush it. Don't like try and die early. And they get in there.
And also just like, I think as players, Aklo, Foxy both lean a little bit more, you know, disciplined, a little bit more defensive all the time. Absolutely. And so that makes a lot of sense. It does give your opponent more room potentially to make a comeback, and we saw that from Adwan until the unfortunate tech flub that you just can't drop those when you're in those situations if you want to come out on top.
And I mean, in 2v1 with 4 stocks, it is always an uphill battle. Dreamland, and we get the heat out of Fox.
Yeah, they showed enough there that you can't mess around.
I guess they wanted to do the Fox for game 1 because they were like, we have Yoshi's, which, you know, probably a decent double Fox stage. We have FT, which is definitely a better double Fox stage, and Pokemon. So it just makes more sense. Hold off the cheek until you have to, you know, just wait for an advantage counter pick when Lewis falls off.
And I like this pick a lot, actually, from Lewis and Adwan. I think just having this extra stage to work with gives them some more space to control the pace of play, especially also having that Falco laser in their back pocket. And it felt like at times where they struggled was when they were getting overwhelmed, and so I think they're just trying to give them some.
Yeah, find a little room to operate, because when you're playing against a team that on paper is better than you, a lot of the time they're going to be setting the pace. They're kind of going to be controlling things. So having that space to operate around is really powerful.
And we saw from Aklo and Foxy that their priority at every time is to force you to one side of center and then just never let you back down. When you switch, it goes back to hold that wall on the other side. It's all about making the stage as small as possible for the blue team.
Yeah.
And right now, red team is doing a fantastic job of just that.
Oh, and Adwan goes for the edge guard on the 100% Sheik and just gets shined at 0 for it. Not the most worthwhile trade. It's looking a little rough for Lewis and Adwan. It seems like Foxy and Aklo are finding their footing. That first game is always figure things out. Anything can happen in game 1, and then see how the set actually starts to pan out in game 2, and they're kind of running away with it a little bit, showing their Aklo not only his top 10 prowess, but Aklo Foxy, their team's top level prowess.
Yeah, and as they start to run away with it, is like you're seeing now the abuse of one of Sheik's strongest moves in Needles, just holding that space from a distance, kind of operating like that laser on we were talking about before, but on a little bit of a budget, right? Just to really threaten space, but also threaten the retreat. It meant that you can't even just try and get away because you're holding. Needles is a third character.
Yeah. Like, what are you gonna do about that? I love that in 2v1s. I think Falco is so incredible at that. Even if you hit your teammate in a 2v1 and you're the Falco and you're just spamming lasers, it doesn't matter. Like, if you hit your teammate and the other guy goes to hit him, as long as they're not getting like box up smash and kill threat, like instant up smash to kill them, nothing's gonna happen. Like, you're just waiting for the scramble to end so that. Wait for your guy to get the opening, and you're like, all right, we got the opening. Good thing you took 20 or whatever off my lasers, but now the guy is just in disadvantage and wasn't able to do anything to us.
Now they go back to FD, which is interesting, but I think makes sense, right? Like, they don't want to go anywhere smaller. They weren't really able to use platforms getting walled off, and so FD just, I think, ends up being the best space for them to operate. And, I mean, frankly, they did better there than they did on Greenland. So I think it makes sense for them to go back here.
Yeah, and I love this beautiful use of the stage. You probably saw on that Lewis stock that got taken from that Aklo Nairn to the Foxy up smash. If you can see, Foxy knows exactly where he's supposed to. Like, you can see he is the support player. He's sitting, that about a couple character lengths behind Aklo, and he's just waiting, letting Aklo do the aggression, and then like, let me clean up. Like, we know what we're doing. I'm gonna keep you safe, and you're gonna do the big damage. They have their team plan just down pat.
I really appreciate just the way you saw Aklo and Foxy there fade off to just double up on that left side to seal out the stock, saying, okay, I'm going to drop. We both want neutral at the same time, but your positioning is better, so I'm going to go help you out because it seals the stock and gets us closer.
Yeah. They've read the, I think it's the Zumpy Doubles Guide is the one. Maybe they help co-author it. They are such a powerhouse in teams.
And, like, honestly, I think that's been one of their strongest traits has been, when do I drop my own advantage state to go help my team? Right? That's often the hardest decision you make in doubles, and they've been immaculate at it. So.
Yeah. Because it's so hard to, like, think of it, because doubles is always, or not always, but heavily seen. Oh, yes. Almost.
Yeah.
Like, doubles is seen as, like, the fun mode, it's like, so many people are just there to mess around and have a good time with their friends. But you can tell so much from the intent between Aklo and Foxy. They want to win. Like, they're truly playing neutral in doubles, which, some people play it to an extent, but they're playing it to a level where you're like, they know what they're doing, they have a plan, they've labbed things out, and it's clearly working to incredible levels.
Yeah, they're so good at understanding, right? Like, their Aklo just taking those long dash chances, trying to bait one of the blue team just back into center, trying to give Foxy some more space. They play the discipline game, though, right, and don't fall for it, so are able to close out the stock. But they've been doing that so well, where one of them will even get hit when the teammate's in disadvantage. They'll take a hit in center to try and bait the other team off of closing out the stock.
But as we say that, Lewis Adwan coming into control somewhere out of this game, finding the way to do it, and they're looking to take a game.
And I mean, what better time to do it than down game 2, right?
Yeah.
And certainly making their way there. 3 stocks is certainly possible, but
I don't know. That might have been the most I have ever seen two teammates walk over each other and also find a way to not have it go catastrophic. They went on a nice walk. They were like, do you want to go on a little walk in the park together? And they just walk back and forth, spend some time together.
That's what the best dances are all about, controlled distance. And they were just doing it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, they get it. They're on the board. They've shown that they can do it. Back to the Fox Chief, as we expect from Foxy, using his counter picks as they make sense.
And one of the things I'm really interested to see here is how hard they focus Aklo on Battlefield specifically, because while this is a good stage and everyone is comfortable here, especially being from New York, Aklo is, I think, one of the best foxes on Battlefield. I mean, he's one of the best foxes there is.
Yeah.
I think even more so one of the best foxes on Battlefield, and is so comfortable here that I'm really curious to see what their priorities look like in terms of who they focus.
He's excellent at allocating all parts of the stage. Like, he's so great at, if top plat is a good idea, he recognizes that and gets, you know, like, he's willing to do the edge cancels. He knows, like, you guys are here, like, based on the location you are, should I go high? Like, I know how to get around and make sure that I'm staying out of trouble.
He has some of the best discipline, like, most disciplined understanding of space of any of the top players, I think. He's so good at controlling it, so good at, and by extension, by moving through it, finding those escape routes, finding those ways to hold space, commit just the perfect amount to certain options. But right now, just trying to find a way to help Foxy get back down. They have a lead, but
they gotta find this kill on Foxy. There we go. Get the kill on Foxy. Finally stay in a little bit. They have to find a way to clean up these kills a little. Because, I mean, that's what's keeping Foxy and Aklo ahead a little more is, you know, they convert into kills off of each other. But if you're just having to find a straight hit to get these kills and they're covering each other so well, it's so much more difficult for Lewis and Adwan to make something happen.
They also just haven't been able to put Aklo and Foxy off stage very much. I think their edge guards have actually been one of their most efficient parts of their play. They just haven't been able to find those off-stage interactions. Finding one there, though, and Aklo going down to 2 stocks.
We have the percent deficit, so, you know, everyone does the mental math of like, oh, it's kind of 3 stocks to 5 right now. Well, now it's really 3 stocks to 5.
Okay, listen, ask and you shall receive, Beckman. Ask and you shall receive.
But this is where, you know, it's still doable. Just have to actually secure some kills a little bit early, keep themselves in the game. Oh, get this big chase on Fox. Is that going to kill? We at least in the edge guard situation, see if Aklo can get there. No, Lewis keeps him out.
Adwan
cleans it up.
Finding a way back though in the confusion. Good stuff from him there to find a way out. They were given that opportunity because their opponents pressed buttons and trying to set up a team combo synchronously, and so we're both stuck in end lag. And gave Aklo an opportunity to get away. Him holding on here, like, that might be the big difference in this set when it comes down to the two.
I mean, making those stocks last is such a pivotal thing. That's why you'll see, like, Pumped and Ices are decent in teams because they have that longevity, you know. Like, they can just stick around, do the stock, or even Samus is like, she's so great in teams because you know those stocks are going to be there. And obviously the stock, your life in the game is your stocks.
I love Lewis there trying to cover both of them with laser. They didn't find it, but does clean up the 2 stocks after the fact, and they play themselves right back into this one. You still have to find a way to hold on at 130, but hey, it's doable.
And they want to keep Adwan alive so badly here because he's the one that can get those quick kills. Like, see if Lewis can do something. It's going to be so hard because Falcon can get the kills and do the work, but it's so hard to actually kill someone at low percent.
That's going to be the set. Aklo and Foxy Grandpa. No surprise to anyone. Moving on to winner finals. But Lewis and Adwan putting up quite a fight. If I'm going up against them in losers, I'm nervous after what I just watched.
I am nervous.